Welcome to MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker, and we've got a impromptu Friday afternoon podcast for you. Today is February 20th. For those of you keeping track, we are one day away from UFC Houston. We're going to break down all the main card, talk about some of the prelims as well that look a little bit interesting. Before we get into any of that, let me introduce on his lunch break, Matt the mechanic. What's going on, Matt?
Not much. No drinks tonight. Or this afternoon. I'm drinking an Ollie Pop. You ever have an Ollie Pop?
I think I have. I think I had a cream soda one once.
That's what this one is. Cream soda. It's
Oh,
my.
okay.
I don't know. It's probably probiotics and botanicals. I don't know what that means, but they're tasty.
Yeah, it sounds healthy, and then they'll find out it gives you cancer in 10 years.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
Hey, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, I went 5-0.
That's right. So let's keep the momentum rolling. You're looking tan, or is it just the shadow in your room?
It might be the shadow. I did spend some time in South Florida last week, but wasn't outside too much.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be going a little further south next week. I'm on my way to Puerto Rico to corner two of my Muay Thai fighters out there on an island called Catania, which is off of Old San Juan, I believe. So that's going to be exciting. And then the following week, I got another one of my guys fighting in Austin, Texas. So I'm going to be racking up the frequent flyer miles in the next 2 weeks.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited for Puerto Rico. I've never been there.
Well, just hopefully don't run into Bad Bunny.
I want to meet him. Just caught my dog chewing on a piece of glass. I don't know where that came from. All right. We're off to an exciting start. Yeah. Hopefully I get to meet Bad Bunny. I won't tell him I'm a Sean Strickland fan. All right, so let's jump right into this card. Is it Jacoby Smith and Josiah Harrell?
It's Michael Piera. I don't know. There's something weird going on with that Jacoby Smith fight. So let's skip that.
Oh, man. I was looking forward to that one.
Well, I mean, the odds, like the betting odds last night weren't available. I mean, you can talk about it. I'm just not going to pick that one.
No, we can skip it. All right. So Zachary Reese, 10-2 against Michel Pereira. I'm glad that Pereira is fighting at middleweight now because that guy was just way too big. Wasn't he fighting at 55 at one point?
Yeah, that's when he was doing all that Circus LA shit.
Yeah. He seems to have gotten it together. He seems to have gotten his cardio under control since moving up. This will be Zachary Reese's. Wow. He's been in the UFC since 2023. I don't really love this fight for him. And he's a good grappler. He does have some knockout power, but and Michel Pereira is also on a 3-fight losing streak. But if you look at who he's lost to, is Kyle Dawkins, Abu Sipian Magomedov, and Anthony Hernandez, who's fighting the main event. I still think that Michel Pereira is a slight favorite here.
Yep, minus 155, opposite plus 130.
That's what I figured. Yeah, I mean, Reese is 6'3", like he's a big boy. He can definitely pull up the upset. You know, Pereira gets a little sloppy sometimes. He is susceptible to the knockout. He's been knocked out in 2 of his last 3. But you're the one making the picks. You're on a hot streak, so
I'm taking Reese. I think Pierre is better than him in every aspect, but Pierre is past his prime. It's not going well. I'm taking Zachary Reese.
Fair enough. Let's see. Pereira is only 32.
Yeah, but
he looks older. He does look older. You never know what they're doing down there in Brazil with the birth certificates. He could be older than me. All right, Sergey Spivak and Ante D'Elia. The heavyweights are either fun or they're like, when is this fight gonna end? D'Elia coming off of a knockout loss in the first round to Waldo Cortez Acosta. Then he had back-to-back wins and then a loss to Valentin Moldavsky. Spivak is not having a good run of it. Lost 3 of his last 4. But he went the distance with Waldo Cortez Acosta. Then he got TKO'd by Jalton Almeida, who I believe has been cut from the UFC.
Yes.
Submitted Marcin Tybura and got TKO'd by Cyril Gane. Gosh, both of these guys are kind of hot and cold lately. I would, if anything, give. See, Spivak has fought better competition, and D'Elia got finished by the same guy that Spivak went the distance with. I would probably put Spivak as the favorite.
It's pretty much even. Plus 120 on Spivak, minus 142 on D'Elia. But I'm actually going to go with the slight favorite here in D'Elia.
Yeah, let's call it D'Elia.
Cortez is on a streak at the time, so I don't really put much into that. I even like D'Elia by KO at 110, but I haven't had luck with props, so we're just going to do the straight minus 142 bet.
Yeah, let's stick with the straight bets while you're on a hot streak with that. All right, sounds good. Then we got the featherweights, Dan Ige and Melquizael Costa. So Dan Ige, of course, we're all familiar with. Let's see. Lost 3 of his last 4 as well. Lost 4 of his last 6. So he lost a decision to Patricky Pitbull in his last fight, and then he TKO'd Sean Woodson. Then he lost back-to-back Diego Lopez and Lerone Murphy. I mean, 2 of the top contenders in the division. And then Costa is quite a character. He's on a 5-fight win streak and against pretty good competition. I mean, he had that head kick over Morgan Charrier. He beat Julian Erosa, who's a tough veteran. He beat Christian Rodriguez, Andre Fili. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for Ige, I think. Costa is tall for a featherweight. He's 5'10", 25-7 record. He's very well rounded. He's got 8 KOs and 8 submissions on his record. I feel like because of the level of competition, Ige could still be the favorite here, but I would lean towards Costa.
Yeah, Costa's minus 218, opposite 180. I'm picking Costa just by his nickname alone, but yeah, I think he's the real deal. I think he's taken the correct rise to power, making it going slow, not trying to bite off too much more than he can chew. So I'm going to take the Dalmatian at minus 218.
Yeah, the Dalmatian is a solid nickname. Ige is going to look to beat Cruella DeVille in there, though. All right, co-main event, Jeff Neal and Uros Medic. Jeff Neal, hands of steel, also lost 3 of his last 4. Did they just book everybody that's lost 3 of their last 4 on this card?
Yeah, that's the way this card looks is the way the next couple of cards look. Pretty much big, giant main event and some guys on some hard times.
Yeah, I mean, under normal circumstances, if this was like 2 years ago, I would say Jeff Neal would be a huge favorite, but I would think maybe Medic is a slight favorite here.
No, Neal is minus 218, opposite 180, plus 180.
All right. I mean, he has fought tougher competition. I mean, his losses came against Carlos Prates, Ian Gary, and Shavkat Rakhmonov. So those are 3 of the top guys in the division. And he had a win in between against RDA, but it was a old and hurt RDA, and it was a It was a knee injury that caused him to win. But before that, he beat Vicente Luque. He beat Ponzinibbio. He beat Mike Perry with that head kick. And he beat Nico Price. All right, so who are you going with?
I'm going with the underdog here, the medic or the doctor. I think he's one of these fighters we forget about. He's on an awesome winning streak. Neil this week's been talking about how this is the first fight he's going into sober or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't sound good.
What a loser.
Well, we went into this episode sober, so
that's true. It's a rare sober episode of MMA on the Rocks. Got nothing to sip on. I got a little whiskey right here, but I gotta teach some lessons after this, and I gotta lift today. So no booze for me until much later. All right, main event. I already know who you're picking here, but let's take a look. Sean Strickland coming off of the loss in the rematch to Dricus du Plessis, but before that, I mean, he was looking good. I mean, he beat Paulo Costa, he beat Adesanya, he beat Magomedov, he beat Nasruddin Imavov. Lost that close decision to Jared Cannonier. You could argue that he won that fight and got knocked out by Alex Pereira. Fluffy Hernandez is on a hot streak, man. He hasn't lost since 2020, and that was to Kevin Holland. But he's coming off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in a row. So Fluffy's going to be right at the top for title contention after this if he wins, coming off of wins over Roman Dolidze, Brendan Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov, Edmund Shabazian, Marc-Andre Barriault, Adolfo Vieira. He's real slick on the ground. Strickland is hard to get down, and he's hard to hold down, and he's good at managing distance with his jabs and his teeps. So Fluffy's going to have to force his way past those to get a hold of Strickland, but he's going to have 5 rounds to do it. I would think Fluffy might be a slight favorite here.
Minus 278, opposite plus 255.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. This is a terrible matchup for Sean. But you like you said it, I'm biased. I'm picking Sean. I like to see that he seems to be in good shape. This is his 5th headlining fight, first one in the United States. It's in Texas. The loudmouth Sean is back.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely creating some headlines for himself, which I'm sure we're going to get into a little bit later. But yeah, it's not a great matchup for him, but he does have more 5-round experience. He is good at managing the distance, which is going to be key against Fluffy. He's going to have to keep him at bay, and he does a good job of that with those teeps, but he's going to have to make sure that he sticks those teeps in there so Fluffy doesn't catch any of them and use it to drag him to the ground, because I think Strickland's going to be in trouble on the ground against Fluffy.
But Strickland's also the fighter that, we didn't give him a damn shot when he went over to fight Adesanya, and he just he spoils fighters' plans, and his last 2 losses was against the only other guy that spoils people's plans even better. So I'm hoping we can get a win out of that. I'm hoping that doesn't break my streak, but if Sean Strickland's the one to break my streak, I'm fine with it. Hey, dog.
We got a puppy cameo. Say hi, Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
Dolly, who are you picking? Fluffy or Strickland? I think she's going Fluffy because she's fluffy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get some news out of the way.
What?
I said, let's get some news out of the way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, the biggest news this week was a fight announcement on Netflix by MVP Productions, which is Jake Paul's. And that is a MMA bout between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. Now, I definitely watched some Ronda Rousey fights. I wasn't a big fan yet, but she was a big enough superstar that we would tune into it. I know Gina Carano was a fighter, but I know her from The Mandalorian and her legal troubles with the last broadcast partner of the UFC, Disney. To me, I saw this fight and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what the hell they're going to have on the undercard. I'm happy these women are going to get paid. They seem to be two women that are deserving of the spotlight. But man, I wish this would have happened on the White House card for the UFC. This would be a perfect fight I'm talking about. That's for the casual, not the main event, but this would have been a great feature fight on the UFC card.
I don't know, man. I love it. I think this is a fun fight. I definitely want to watch it. But I don't think the UFC is willing to take that risk of how these women are going to look. I mean, Gina Carano was a good fighter when women's MMA was not that prevalent. Like the women that she fought and beat were like, I would be interested to see like their combined records. I mean, she did beat Kelly Schmitz, who's got a winning record. She beat Tanya Evinger, who is one of the pioneers of women's MMA. But she only has 8 fights, and she hasn't fought in 17 years. Her last fight was against Cyborg in 2009, August of 2009. So, yeah, almost 17 years ago was the last time she took a fight. I mean, MMA has evolved so much since then. Women's MMA has evolved light years since then. She's 43 years old. I mean, she still looks great, of course. And Ronda hasn't fought in 10 years, or almost 10 years. Her last fight was against Amanda Nunes, where she got knocked out in 48 seconds back in December of 2016. Look, skill-wise, Ronda is going to be light years ahead of Gina. I don't know how much Gina's been training in the last 17 years, and she's done a lot of acting and stuff. I don't know how much Ronda's been training in the last 10 years. It seemed like she walked away from MMA altogether for a while to do the WWE stuff and whatever else she was doing.
It's been a while since she's been doing that too. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Ronda's got to be the favorite.
Yeah, minus 700.
Yeah, that sounds right. If anything, that's generous. Gina was a good fighter. She likes the clinch, which is not what you want to do with Ronda, because as soon as you clinch with Ronda, you're getting thrown ass over tea kettle. But she had good boxing. She had good Muay Thai. Her ground game was good for the time. Fighting in Elite XC and fighting in Strikeforce against the competition she had available to her. She was definitely the first big star in women's MMA. But then Ronda took the torch and ran with it. So these are two pioneers. It's a very nostalgic fight. I love it. I don't think it would be a good fit for the UFC, just because you don't know what you're gonna get. So you don't want to put something out there that doesn't end up that's a huge draw. I mean, a lot of people are gonna watch this fight, but you don't know what you're gonna see. You got a 39-year-old that hasn't fought in 10 years, and you got a 43-year-old that hasn't fought in 17 years. That's a big roll of the dice especially for a card that's going to have as much attention as the White House card. So I agree with you. It would be a big draw as a featured fight, but the risk of what it's going to look like
Well,
on
I
such
think
a
that's where we
historic card.
disagree what the final card for the White House is going to be. I don't think it's going to have much to do with rankings or any fight for any real fan. I think this is the type of fights we're going to get. I almost think this fight was targeted for this card and they couldn't reach their numbers and it went over here.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that segues into the UFC card, because hasn't been any announcements yet, but there's been some pieces falling into place that can point us to what the main and co-main event, and I think those are going to be title fights, and then everything else is going to be, McDonald's fights.
It's a fair prediction. Like putting some super fights on there is not a bad idea, but you have to make sure that they're going to be exciting fights.
I think but I think the excitement, an exciting fight is not what the exciting fight they're looking for is not an exciting fight for you. I mean, these.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Gina versus Ronda. I'm gonna watch the shit out of that. I'm interested to see how they look. Maybe they'll both come out and look great. Maybe they've both been quietly training and have both evolved.
Well, hopefully Ronda doesn't want to box, because I saw a clip of her shadow boxing and it looks like how I fight in my dreams.
Yeah, and Gina's got hands. She had pretty good power. I mean, she had some good knockouts early in her career. I think she's only got one submission on her record, and then she's only fought 8 times, which is not a ton of experience, and she's been away from this for a long time. But yeah, I'm glad to see her back in the spotlight, because I mean, she was an attraction back in the day. When you didn't see a lot of women fighting, obviously she's a knockout looks wise. So she was fun back in her day. And then she did like the American Gladiator stuff, and went on to do the Mandalorian. I don't follow Star Wars. I never watched any of that, but I'm sure she was great in it.
Yeah, she did all right. Up alongside Bill Burr.
In the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting combination.
But so what I was talking about was the White House. Is Ian Gary's over in Georgia training starting this week, and he said if he ever needed to fight was going to have to fight Islam, he'd go to Georgia to prepare. So that lines up. I mean, I think they have for this UFC card, I think they have like a card that's set, and it would be like Ian Gary, Islam, and then Ilya, Justin, and that's like the safe card they have. And then there's like these other fights that aren't guaranteed to happen, and they're just gonna put those in if they can make it happen. Connor's doing Connor shit, posting things. Oh yeah, I gotta just send me the contract, I'll do it. I really think that's Connor Nate 3. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Cowboy. I know he got injured.
And he's got to cycle off the steroids too.
Well, he already did that. That's what he was doing. If you remember, he started that process 6 or 8 months ago.
Who would you like to see Cowboy fight? If they don't get Connor, and I don't think they will, Cowboy and Nate Diaz rematch would be awesome, I think.
Yeah. Well, then there's even the weird shit about GSP coming back. But that's the type of fights I think they're targeting for this card. I mean, Islam, Ian Gary, Justin Gaethje, Ilya, and then a card with let's say Connor, Nate, and Cowboy and GSP. Which card do you think would do better for all fight fans?
I mean, Connor.
And then there's the John Jones rumors. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think we're gonna see John Jones on that card, because Dana said he's not reliable, and Dana's gone back on his word many times before, but he definitely doesn't seem too happy with John Jones right now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They have this safe card that's not going to do the numbers they want, which numbers don't matter, but the hype they want. And then they have these other ones that's like, okay, let's see if we can fit all them in.
Yeah. I think we'll probably definitely see Alex Pereira on that card.
Yeah. So the only other thing I have is, if you want to get into it, is Sean Strickland's making headlines. I bought some clips. I watched this whole press conference, and this is kind of my hot take. You know, you could look on headlines now, and Paramount's pissed that he said this. Paramount, you know, they're shocked. This is all set up.
Sure.
I don't know the female reporter that started, but she got 5 questions at the beginning, and all 5 questions had absolutely nothing to do with fighting.
Mm-hmm.
It was, what do you think about the gay hockey show?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Bad Bunny and the football, the Super Bowl performance?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Who else was he going off on? Oh, the fight we just talked about, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then the clips I brought was from the other question, and I think I have this question in here. Here it goes.
So, who do you think has Nancy Guthrie? Where do you think she is? Do you know who that is?
Dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, like, I don't know. I know.
So the last question was about the poor lady that got abducted, and then it went further.
Who cares?
Do you think it's weird that people care? Because that's one thing that people are talking about. Why does everybody care about this lady?
Well, she's famous. You guys don't understand. We're better than you guys. You know, it's like, I'm better than you guys. Like, something happens to me. Well, not me, because people hate me, and I'm the white right side. But
and then I have the wrap up, which is in none of these clips, and this is where Sean's actually making a little bit of sense.
Okay.
The information that we get is like pre-packaged and fed to you, right? Like all these big like current affairs that happen, like we don't give a fuck, but it's like it's just being fed to you. It's being fed to you. You can't help but to care, because it's like you open up your phone and like, oh man, you see this fucking old bitch who's been kidnapped. Like it's just like your thoughts are not your own thoughts. And the moment you realize that and you understand that like everything you believe is just like fucking pre-packaged and fucking implanted in your brain, you give way less fucks.
So I thought that was some good insight by Mr. Sean Strickland, but of course they're talking about how he called Bad Bunny names and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sean realizes that, you know, he probably doesn't have much longer of a run here. He knows that when he says inflammatory things, he's going to get a lot of buzz. And, you know, dropping words like he did, you know, of course it's going to get a lot of people up in arms, but it's going to make people want to watch him fight, you know, because they're either going to be rooting for him for speaking his mind, or they want to see him get his ass kicked. I actually think it's pretty good journalism, you know, giving him, like, feeding him those questions, knowing that she was going to get those inflammatory responses, and, you know, they're getting the views and they're getting the clicks out of it. So it's all doing its job. And with that kind of stuff, like, yeah, I don't condone the things he was saying about Bad Bunny, but he's entitled to his opinion, and those words only have as much power as you give to them. So, you know, the more outraged you are by them, the more powerful they become. And he knows how to get people outraged. I mean, he's become like something of a master at it. I mean, he's definitely one of the biggest button pushers in the history of the UFC. And that might be an understatement. He might be one of the biggest button pushers, period, because probably people who don't know anything about UFC are seeing these clips at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's set up. I mean, but just to say that Paramount didn't know what was going to happen, that's bullshit.
Well, they have to say that. They got to save face. Like, yeah. Oh, we didn't know this guy was gonna drop homophobic slurs. And
I'm gonna do some more research and figure out who that lady was answering the questions, and I'm willing to bet she works for him,
or works for a parent company or something.
Yeah.
Or they were like, oh yeah, we thought he was gonna just ask about the Super Bowl halftime show because it's trendy. We didn't know he was gonna say all that. Like, did you know who you had on the microphone there?
Yeah, I mean, and the rest of it, you see no clips for it. Went on for like another 15, 20 minutes. They're all, you know, fight questions from the real journalist.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he's, they were asking him about how he mentally prepares for a fight and how he's like, well, I don't really mentally prepare at all until like 30 minutes before the fight, because I've had some fights where I thought about it. What am I going to do for weeks and months ahead? Mm-hmm. And it just makes me tired and gets me worn out. So he's like,
Mhm.
I've been fighting forever. I know how he fights. I know how I fight. I'll worry about it 30 minutes before the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much I agree with that, and that's pretty much what I do with my guys. Like one of my guys is fighting in Puerto Rico. He he's always in shape, and he's been training a long time, and we just went over like some minor game planning stuff today, like just some quick counters that we could use, and analyzing the other guy's style. But when it comes down to it, when you get in there, you're just gonna do whatever you're gonna do. And Sean spars a lot. I'm sure he spars like guys with a lot of different styles, and just it, you got to be prepared for anything at this level, especially, you could lose your opponent at the last minute and be fighting a guy with a completely different style. And I believe that's happened to Sean before. So yeah, I agree with that approach.
That's pretty much all I got, except I was looking over the weigh-ins, and only one fighter missed their weight limit in the prelims, but a fighter we know a little bit about by the name of Philip Rowe.
Oh, that sucks.
Ooh, Jordan Levitt's on this card.
Yeah, Jordan Levitt, it looks like they're trying to put the nail in the coffin with him. They're got him on the early prelims against an undefeated fighter. Or they're trying to build him back up again. The Cuban Problem, Yadir Del Valle. This guy's 10-0. He seems like a bit of a grappler. If he comes from Cuba, he's got to have good wrestling. His gym association is Gracie Baja West Chase.
Who? Jordan Levitt?
No, his opponent, Del Valle. That's interesting. But yeah, I think that's going to be a fun fight. Philip Rowe always puts on a good fight. It's a bummer that he missed weight. That's disappointing. But he is a big welterweight. I mean, I think he's like 6'4", 6'3". Okay. Also lost 3 of his last 4, by the way. Keep him with the trend here on this card. Chidi Njokuani is a guy that I always enjoyed fighting when he was outside of the UFC, and had a bit of a disappointing run since coming to the UFC. But he's super explosive. He won 3 of his last 4. He's breaking the chain here. So yeah, that one I'm looking forward to. He's fighting Carlos Leal. Ode Osborne and Alibi Adiris. That should be a fun one. Nothing else really jumping out. Oh, Ramiz Brahimaj against Punahele Soriano. That's going to be a fun fight. I like the way Soriano fights.
Yeah, so the prelims start at 5, main card at 8. I like it.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Bring it on. And it's not on ESPN. The best thing of all. So
Yeah.
how do you feel about the Ronda and Gina fight? Because I know Gina is like well before your time in MMA.
I mean, I'll watch it. I don't understand. I understand that fight, but I don't understand what the hell Netflix is doing, what they're trying to accomplish. They're doing MMA fight. I don't see how they're going to get that sanctioned in California. I mean, but this MVP Productions has had sanctioning issues in the past. They had to move it down here to Florida. I forget which fight it was. I think it was the most recent one of Jake's fights when he was supposed to fight the boxer, but he ended up beating his wife's ass or something, and they changed it to whoever that was. I mean, I don't know. It's like, who are they going to put on the undercard? What? Or is there an undercard? Are they going to have music instead, like Triller was trying to do?
I mean, it'd be fine with me if they just did the one fight, make it like
you're not going to sell out. It's at the Is that a freaking what arena is it at? It's like the Anaheim Center.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. They'll probably get a few other names on there though.
But who?
I'm sure there's people floating around that, you know, want to come out of retirement for another fight and get on that card.
What is a big name? You know, because they're trying to make a alternate to the White House card. No, May 16th. Who the hell is going to be on this? What free agent is there? Nate Diaz, Tyron Woodley, Cain Velasquez. That's the other news this week.
Probably see Dan Hardy on this card.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like, because, you know, in the announcement, they're like, we're going to start our own MMA promotion. And I don't see how this is a good, it's going to have a lot of eyes, but it's a lot of people tune in to watch a bad show. I mean, and then if the main event doesn't go well, then it really didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it's a quick money grab and they could always just turn around and not do this anymore. So, you know, it's probably the kind of stuff that's just in talks and they're going to see who they can get.
Yeah, and it's going to have, we have that Andy Foster.
They're going to follow the BKFC business model where they get, you know, UFC fighters that haven't competed in a while that people would still be interested in. You know, who knows? They could end up grabbing like an Andrei Arlovsky or something, or
yeah, but nobody,
I don't know.
Anybody that gives a shit about Ronda Rousey doesn't even know who Andrei Arlovsky is.
True.
I don't hate it. I'll watch it. But I'll watch any fight. You know,
Arlovsky's the BKFC heavyweight champion right now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If it makes it, I'll watch it. I'll watch Ronda rip her arm off.
It's probably how it's gonna go.
I wonder why these two women are doing it. It can't be money.
You know, they just have that. They have that competitive spirit. I mean, Ronda is super competitive, and I'm sure she's been dying to compete again because she's been doing the WWE and stuff like that. And you know, Gina, I'm sure, is super competitive too. So it's got to be
loaded. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, whatever the reasons, I'm here for it. So.
All right. Only other thing is Gordon Ryan did retire this week, and no matter you like him or not, he's the best jiu-jitsu no-gi guy to ever live, hands down. And I hope he's successful with his gym that he's working on.
Where is that going to be, in Texas?
Yeah, it's in Austin. It's already been open for probably almost a year. It's called Kingsway.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be in Austin in a couple of weeks.
You can he posts all the time about people stopping in.
Now that he's retired, maybe I have a chance to catch him.
I doubt it. But you can meet up with your old buddy Danner, who's teaching there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd love to see him again. Cool dude. Very peculiar, but very nice guy. Drew Griffin says it is money. I mean, are either one of them hard up for money? I mean, they both.
I don't think so. I mean, her Gina Carano's dad owns the Caesar's Palace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they have something else. The El Dorado resorts.
Did she grow up with her dad though? I thought she did.
Yeah. He says she grew up with her father in Vegas. They own a Carano vineyard. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No. No.
Yeah, they're casino owners. I don't think it's money.
All right then.
I think they just got to stick their nose out and pop up out of the sand and get some attention again.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a money grab for Netflix. Like it's gotten some buzz already. What's the date of that fight?
March 16th.
Oh, okay. Day before St. Patty's Day. That'll be a fun weekend in California. If that's where it takes place, you're right. There might have some sanctioning issues there. I think they had to move that last Chuck Liddell Tito Ortiz fight out of California, if I remember correct, or maybe they wound up having it there. But that should not have been sanctioned. That was not good.
And didn't they move wasn't John Jones fight moved out of there too? The picograms?
Yes, it was. They had to move it. I think they moved it to Vegas. But yeah, that was supposed to be in Anaheim too, I believe.
Yeah, Pico Gate.
But
all right, I gotta get some lunch and get back to work.
All right, me too. Well, that's all we got. I don't know what the deal is going to be for next week because I'm going to be in Puerto Rico. Maybe I'll bring my laptop and maybe we can get a quick episode in. That would be fun.
Yeah, bring your laptop. I didn't mind this day, during the day thing. My lunch is flexible. I say we keep going. We haven't missed one yet this year. And
all right. Well, lunchtime. So no, I might be able to do lunchtime on Friday next week. It depends. It depends what time the weigh-in is over. Because I don't have any of that information yet, but I'll let you know. And if you guys want to follow me along to Puerto Rico, make sure you're following on MMA on the Rocks on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. I'll be posting stories and reels and stuff from out on the island. If I run into Bad Bunny, I'll take a selfie with him and let you guys know, and I'll tag Sean Strickland in it. All right, so that's all we got. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy the fights. Let me know in the comments if you're excited for Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. And that's it. So until next time, cheers, everybody. Goodbye. Play the damn music.